So dear Dhamma practitioners, we're going to start our session now. So be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. And gently close your eyes and focus your mind to this bell sound. So while you're focusing to the sound mentally, relax your body, relax your mind, relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, when it comes to practice meditation, it is very important yourself to be very clear with the intention that you have within yourself. So in this meditation sessions, we mainly try to give some informations, guidelines to yourself to find your inner wisdom, clarity, concentration, and the awareness. For that, we mainly practice two mental cultures, which we call Samatha meditation and Vipassana meditation. So, and at the same time, we're developing the loving kindness and compassion in our heart. So those are the main three pillars that we work. So when it comes to tranquility meditation means you bringing your mind to the present moment. It is not shutting down your mind, closing your mind, getting mesmerized with some ideas or thoughts or any mental object. You become very clear with the moment of the existence without getting any disturbances. So here the disturbances means not whatever things coming from outside. It is always the disturbances means the whatever the thoughts come within yourself. When you not react to your own thoughts, that is the very nature of the tranquility state. You able to handle your own mind, not the outside world. So remember that, don't try to have an intention or don't try to have a desire, effort to detach from outside, because you cannot do it. You are itself a part of the outside. Just imagine this inhalation, exhalation, the very basic building block of your life. From where it coming? It coming from outside. So then this everything exists around is itself your life. Then how you can escape from it? So, and also your eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and mind consciousness arise because of two reasons. One is eye object, ear object, nose object, tongue object, body object, and the mind object. And other thing is the organs, that eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So it is internal, the other, the objects, external. So when these two things come together, the I consciousness arise. So then that whatever the consciousness exists within yourself is not separate entity from the nature. So then total acceptance, becoming harmony itself with the nature is very important. But mostly when we come to meditation, mostly we think and we have a desire to detach from the soul. How you can detach? Because then you have intention to make you kind of like a different entity from the nature. So it's not like that. You are itself the nature. So then it's kind of like be a drop of water in the ocean. Then there's nothing go against you. Because then you become itself the ocean. So when the sound come, smell come, taste happens, the sensation arise, why you try to resist? Why you think that getting into tranquility state means stay away from that things? Why you have desire to go away or try when it come to the being silence mean? How you think that you are escape from the outside sound? From where are you going to go? Because the sound everywhere, there is sound, even when it come to deeper tranquility state. That the inhalation, exhalation, even this entire, the blood circular system, even your heartbeat. And sometimes you may hear it's kind of like a beating to a drum, dum, 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 dum. So if you have the intention to escape from the sound, because you are itself the sound, you cannot. So being silence itself means you shut down your thought conversation. You surrender to the nature, but at the same time, you get out of the resistance inside with your thoughts. So be aware about it, especially when it comes to tranquility meditation. So once the mind stays in the present moment, especially as the primary mental object, we take our inhalation, exhalation. So then it will, your inhalation, exhalation always happening in the present moment, not in the past, not in the future. So then it will help for you when you have the sensation, or if you are able to see the inhalation, exhalation in that very moment, your mind in the present moment, and it never can go to past or the future. Maybe suddenly it will jump, but it is okay. You bring back. You bring back again and again and again. So when you are in the present moment, what will happen? The very first thing, you get out of the kama chanda. So the kama chanda means sensual pleasures or the desires to find the satisfaction with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. This happens. You need the object, thoughts, and that thought should relate it with the memory, past or the future. Otherwise, the desire cannot come. Remember, you need something, and especially you need the thoughts related to past or the future, because in the present moment, there is no desire. Always the sensual pleasures arise with the mental formations or with the memory or with whatever related to your past or the future. So then when you come to the present moment or the recognize the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation, then in that very moment, your mind in the present moment, that means you get out of the kama chanda. the desire to find the satisfaction with the self-centered mind. That doesn't mean you get out of the feeling or you get out of the sensation. No, you get out of the desire. So be very clear. Another thing is vyapada, the resistance or the anger go against something, and the revenge or kind of like doing something that as a feedback. So this kind of current you slowly shut down when you are in the present moment, because to get angry or go following the revenge, you have to have the past experience. So when the mind, when you jump into, it's kind of like you get into a vehicle, plane. So ship, your inhalation, exhalation is the vehicle. So once you get into inhalation or exhalation, you are in safe mood. Why? Because you are in the present moment. So then there is no way that anger or the resistance or the revenge or the any kind of unsatisfaction arise. So if it is happen, so get you now, you know, it's kind of like when you having any disease or sickness, you get medicine. So anger or the desire, it kind of like a disease. So your inhalation, exhalation is the medicine. It's kind of like you visiting the doctor. You stay there. You completely 100% available to examine to your doctor. So like that, you 100% become available for your own inhalation, exhalation. You no need to have any fear, because it is nothing to believe something. You can keep all the believings. You can hold it to all the practice what you have. What's the wrong that even you hold that everything? What's the wrong? Why you cannot just 100% observe your own inhalation, exhalation? Do you think what you believe, what you practice, your religion or your culture, tradition, your gender is higher than your inhalation, exhalation? Try it. Give a try and see what will happen. You will get the lesson. You need that lesson. Otherwise, sometimes you don't understand it. So get the lesson. Because when you come back next time, you will come back with that lesson sometimes. Otherwise, mostly for us, that we don't, if you don't accept the highest thing as highest in this very lifetime, in even in the very physical material life, do you think how we can absorb something mentally? So then your inhalation, exhalation is higher than this all the material things or the practice that we follow. So then 100% be surrendered to that. Tina mid, and that itself make you energize, awake physically. That physically awake is very necessary, because mostly physically we sleeping. We have no kind of like energy inside us. That's why whole world, for little things, can get so frustrated and fearful. Why? Because mentally we are so weak. So we don't develop this. So the energy is not kind of like inject. You can inject, or it's not going to come through vaccination. It cannot come through food. It cannot come through pills. The energy come out of the attitude or the way you think. So then when you sit for meditation, so still we are in the tranquility meditation. We develop in the background. So when you sit, because those are very necessary, basic steps that you have to take yourself. So that yesterday, there was a mother call regarding her children. And when she called and told, oh, that her child so lazy, and he not listening to anything. And then I was trying to explain something and she not listening even. So then finally I told, you know, it's nothing to do with the child. It is kind of like a factory default, because you have the same nature and you inject that nature to the child. So when you are so lethargic, do you think that your child going to become strong or energized if you don't listen to anything? Do you think your child going to listen to something like that? So why I give that example? Because that is very nature of us. But at least when you sit, correct it yourself. You can do that. You can change everything, that whatever happening in you. That is the very basic method of the Buddha's teaching. Otherwise we don't going to practice. Don't have the faith yourself. Have a very positive, kind of like a very clear blueprint regarding your own character, because you can get it. So then the Kamachanda Vyavthina Mid, that the laziness, this at least get out of this place, laziness. So when you are in the present moment, what will happen? Entire your body start to get into 100% focus toward the very single moment of sensation. See, there is no laziness, tiredness, sleepiness. That is what happening. Because that laziness is one of the biggest hindrance that we carry within our life. Inner laziness to see the truth. We don't like to see mostly. So then when you're sitting, always remember that keep that awakened posture yourself, keep that awakened attitude yourself when you observe. Uddacha kukucha. It's a restlessness, jumping to past and the future, comparing what happened, this happened, so like that. And it's a kind of like always with the self-centered mind. I did this, I am like this, so kind of like that. All this start to vomit. So we always keep doing it. Even in a general conversation, look, sometimes you start to talk about your childhood time or your young age, whatever you used to do things, or like that. And you enjoying it, your own memory. So that always going to bring you fear, unsatisfaction, unbalance to your life. So that also related to past and the future. But when you are in the present moment, that also disappear. And the vichikicha means the doubt regarding your own life, related to past and the future, what happened yesterday, or what I did yesterday, or what going to happen tomorrow. This always happening with us, especially during this time. Uncertainty. And people are afraid for that. But that is the very nature of life. So then, when you are in the present moment, you climb to the highest place of the safe place in the life mountain. And once you come to the present moment, you get out of the doubt. So all these 5 hindrance, kama, chanda, vyapada, tinamidda, uddacha, kukucha, vichikicha. So you get out of it. Sensual pleasure, desires, with the self-centered idea, and anger, or the revenge, or the resistance, and the lethargic mind, the laziness, sleepiness, and the restlessness with the comparison and the doubt. So you get out of that. That is what called tranquility mind. So that all happening when you are in the present moment. Why? To happen this all 5 things, you need past experience or future projection related with the past. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So that's why in the present moment, you get out of the all these five hindrance. And that is where you come to a point. Your mind becomes so clear, sharp, and strong, energized. So once it comes to that, you start to recognize the moment, very moment. So then you go to Vipassana. Now your mind is ready to analyze. Now your mind go and deeply observe without judging, without interfering, without doing any favor to yourself. You independently observe you. That is the Vipassana. So in that level, in the very first thing, the sensation or the feelings that you have, you slowly observe. When you observe what you see, you don't need to think anything, just observe. You will see it always change. And when you recognize the sensation change, the very next thing you're going to recognize, you're going to see your mind, thoughts. And then what will happen? Then you will see, when you're able to see the thoughts, you will recognize this thought also change. And finally, this everything phenomena, dharmata, the nature, cause and effect, dependent origination. This is the final. And other thing is, finally, you will understand this moment by moment experience, just simple thoughts. There is nothing else beyond that. And the very nature of the thoughts, arising, disappearing, arising, disappearing. So the sati means you come to the point to stay and having undisturbed mind. That is samadhi. So the sati develop the samadhi and the sati sampajanya. So it is very important. Remember this. Once you able to recognize and settle down with the moment, the sati sampajanya means that you have to see the beginning of the mind. So the sati will help you to recognize the mind. Now you calm, relax, and you don't respond to the mind. And in the vipassana level, what will happen? You will recognize the beginning of the thought. That is what you have to look. That is where you observing the beginning of the thought. And then you will find out a secret. What is that secret? This everything, all this phenomena, you can clean. Because when you see the beginning of thought, naturally, it's kind of like you holding a kind of like a laser gun to something, and in that very moment it's burned. In that very moment it burned. It's like you holding the gas, kind of like something iron, and in that very moment it burned. It cannot resist. So then yourself remember, when you see the beginning of the thought's going to slowly disappear, deconstruct. Because that is the power of the mind. You can see the beginning of thoughts. It will deconstruct, deform. That is what does by vipassana. So when you go to the beginning of the thought, and when you recognize whatever it come according to the phenomena. It's nothing wrong with anything, nothing wrong with any thoughts, but whatever come, if you don't see it, what will happen? It is start to construct, format, develop in you. But when you see any thought, you recognize that within your own consciousness, that is the beauty of the mind. Mind can observe by the mind. That is what the vipassana. So you recognizing the beginning of thoughts and you understand you can clean this. You can clean any thought in you. You can get out of the any mental formation. You can uproot anything. If you want, you can keep anything. If you want, you can uproot anything. So that is where you become the master of you. And that is where your choice going to be really active, not this outside life choice, whatever you select. Oh, I like this, I like that. The choice means your willpower means your will means not go with the outside. Remember that you come with the will means you have a will means you have a choice with your own thoughts. The art of the vipassana is really going to activate and take you to that moment. So when you have that moment, that is where you find your inner freedom and understanding this everything, moment by moment change. So that is the journey that we go. So while you practice, just remember this information. Don't have any effort yourself to make anything happen. Just simply learn to observe without interfering. And at the same time, remember this all practice from beginning to end about your own thoughts, nothing else. Becoming very clear and settle down with the thoughts, developing undisturbed mind from your own thoughts and go into the beginning of the thoughts and see the thoughts. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. Okay, so your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times. Say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy. 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also, think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. So deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation in front of your nose and your upper lip area. And allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen itself. And when it happens, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. Do nothing extra. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. Just settle down with the sensation. Don't visualize, don't imagine, don't try to make anything happen the way you want. Simply learn to accept. Time to time, watch your body and watch yourself and see how the posture, where the mind. And follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Also, you may experience some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Each and every inhalation and exhalation unique itself. Just recognize it, accept it. Bring attention to the sensation and just be with the sensation with the very clear mind and keep the newness. Don't observe with any identity. Simply be new. Keep the fresh, clear mind always and observe the sensation and see how it change, recognizing permanent unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within any experience come to you. Even the observer also not a separate entity, solid entity. The observer is a byproduct of your all experience. Observer is a product of your five aggregates. So when the aggregates change, mean the observer also change. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, as human being, you have to understand in this universe where you are and why you are different than any other animal. What is the capacity that what have within yourself? Because as you know, sometimes we kind of like we come in human form, but sometimes we act like animals. We appear like a human form, but sometimes we become kind of like demons. We appear kind of like we are kind of like a human body. We are kind of like act like ghost. Sometimes we are kind of like a human beings, but our behavior is kind of like a zombies. So the very reason we never look ourselves and we don't understand who we are, where are we coming from, what is our heritage, that what kind of nature we hold within us. The beauty of the human mind is you are the living being in this world, in this universe, have capacity to observe your own mind by your own mind. You can observe, you can see your own mind by yourself, by using the same mind. There are no any other animals in this world have that capacity. So that is where you become different. So then are you ever use that, or are you ever experienced that? If you didn't experience it, then what you experience in day-to-day life, because that is the real human being, seeing your own mind by you. It's a kind of like I will try to give a little example just to understand it a little bit. It's like, you know, nowadays these cell phones. So you have to charge it. It has a battery. And then that battery, when that battery become low, so itself from the power of that own battery source, this battery is low. It is not showing by some different entity, different energy. Its own energy shows us it's the energy is low. So battery low. So same like your mind has power to recognize it itself. So then in day-to-day life, once you able to come to a place to experience that, you get out of the risk. That is where you become more safe. Not believing something, not following something, not worshipping something. There is no way you can have the protection for a while, for a certain place, for the environment, for a little period of time. It gives the comfort to you. But it's not going to be permanent. But when you develop art or passion, yourself to look within your own mind, you will see. Until you attain to the Nibbana, it's going to protect you. And not only that, That ability, day by day, day by day, day by day, will start to uplift your qualities and will take you to the final destination. So your passion, your way of your living, your own life should take you to a higher place. Not once a while you practice something and try to jump to a higher level. No, the way you live, the itself should take you to the higher level. So that is the right living, because then you living, there's no pressure inside, there's no effort to become somebody, because itself naturally the journey becomes successful. So that is where you have to develop your life. That is how you have to format your journey. So getting to a method like that. So the method is start to see the mind. So it is, in the beginning, it is not easy. Why? Because we have a habit to go with the mind, go with the memory, go with the habits, go with the passion, go with the culture, tradition, go with the society, and go with others' opinion. So those are things that we already have within us. That is where we play our life. But you have to slowly let go that old comfort zone and start to see your own mind. And once you're able to recognize that, you will see there are a lot of things. Slowly, little by little, go away, and it will make your life very clear. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter with who you are. It doesn't matter with the what condition or the environment or the other people. It doesn't matter. You start to find a very safe, tranquility place for yourself without making any kind of mistake by yourself. You will maintain your life. Because mostly we caught up with the outside actions. We try to judge the book by the cover. That's how we are. We are mostly judge people through the skin and the actions. But we fail to see the intention. Why? Because our very behavior, we maintain our life by our skin and the actions. We try to make everybody please. We try to look like nice. We like to show others we doing good. That's how we behave. But we don't see our inner nature. Because you don't see it, you have no ability to understand the others. The way you behave, you measure the other the same. So then once you start to see your mind, it will start to take you to a different dimension with different level of understanding. That understanding is more harmonized. The living beings and the material things and everything around you, because we understand deeply from where these actions come. Then what is the intention? Once you're able to see that, that is where the real compassion comes. Why? Because there are a lot of people, they have no capacity and they have no practice, they have no intention, they have no environment, they have no teachings to understand that. They think life as something else. So once you have this knowledge and you become more compassion, and that compassion is more deeply resonate within your the wisdom, not just the surface level of compassion. That is very necessary. We need that. But yourself, when you practice vipassana, remember, you go to the depth, you go to the bottom. You don't need to have any kind of head massage, or you don't look for spoon feeding to yourself. You become really serious regarding your spiritual journey. That is where you gain the good result. So you have to develop that within yourself to experience it. And then you have to try beyond the limit within yourself. Because our own habit, culture, tradition, patterns, comfort, the opinions, these are become very limited, make us very limited in day-to-day life. So then use the real power hidden inside you. What is that power? Recognizing yourself by your own mind. See your own mind, see your own thoughts. Once you start to see that you will see this all the thought arise, and according to the necessary conditions or the environment, and there is no kind of like a self, or there is no any separate ownership for your thoughts. So once you understand that, you become very careful. You're not going to claim this any thoughts as you. Once you get out of that, you get out of lot of unnecessary work. Because this all the work we done thinking, this all the feelings, this body, feelings, thoughts, understanding, awareness, this all I am. So once you recognize this, and you become more careful, and you become more alert in day-to-day life. Why? Because you know this everything going to change by the time, and this anything is not you. So that is where you become matured deeply within yourself. That is what you need. Be more clear person within yourself. And that is where the real battle start to come. That's why in the Buddha's teaching, it says, it's very clear. There's nothing, beyond that. That your intention create karma. Chetanaham bhikkhave kammang vadami. Period. There's nothing else. Chetanaham bhikkhave kammang vadami. Your intention create this everything. So intention mean what? It is a thought. So then it's come within you. You can see it. So once you see it, you're done. So that is where we go. And in this journey, every day, remember that as I always mention, your life is belong to time. That it's time is kind of like a termite yourself. It eating you. You don't see it. Each and every cell in your body eating by time. So that is where you enjoy getting old, growing. But you don't see how the time eating you. So in day-to-day life, always remember there are few things always you have to get into, and you have to remind. And one thing is, everything is temporary. Nothing lasts forever. Always remember that. The whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, everything is temporary. That is the real Buddha's. See, it is very hard to accept. Even yourself is not going to be forever. But the thing is, difference when you believe that believing going to take you to something. But if you look very carefully, there is nothing going to be forever. Always remember that. Remember that in the beginning and start to repeat it inside you, and day by day, day by day, day by day, and it will start to show you the deeper meaning. It's like most the sutras or whatever we learn, even the mathematics or the science, we go to schools from, in the basic level, sometimes we learn little methods, patterns, but we don't deeply understand it. But how about we go to university and we start to develop project and learn something more deeply. So you go into a special diploma and then you understand it more deeply, but you heard it before. So like that, these things, everything is temporary and nothing is forever. So you heard, you when you keep repeating it, in the beginning you may not going to understand the deeper meaning, but you hold the truth. You hold it to the truth. You hold it to the bottom. You hold it to the highest level of wisdom. Maybe in the beginning you have no power to absorb it, but at least you have power to hold it. And then it will little by little, little by little, little by little take you to the deeper, deeper, deeper meaning and get into the bottom. One day you will hit it. So then always remember the very first thing, nothing is forever. Everything, that everything means everything is temporary. Or this going to be that, no, it's nothing like everything temporary. And second one, your today's sacrifice will pay off your tomorrow. It's a little bit big, but slowly try to understand. I will explain. And sometimes this is how. This is by, by through life. When I learned that first time, it hit the to my bones, because the life we used to see in a different way. Kind of like, we used to, in as monks, we available for, social service for people, and people bring, I give one example to understand. So people bring food, and sometimes some people, when they prepare the food for monks, and they with the very respect, and they do their best. So sometimes people don't do like that way, and sometimes people bring whatever left over, and sometimes they bring it with the dirt. And in the beginning, oh, we have some good food, why we have to eat this? We throw it away. And then what happened? It every day start to come to us. Every day coming. Then when I learned this method, today's sacrifice will pay off your tomorrow. And then without escaping from what you get, you accept it. Because there's a reason that you get it. And you accept it. And without any personal identity, because they offer it to monks. That's it. It is not for me personally. So then I am representing monks. So it is my responsibility then. I bound to accept it. So then I have no power to throw it away. Why? Because I accept it. And I'm representing the community of the Sangha, and they offer it to the Sangha. It is not for me. And there is a personal relationship, but to tackle that, we have to come to a higher level of expand the capacity to understand it. So then, once I start to eat it, anymore it didn't come. Just I gave one example. So today that whatever you sacrifice will pay off your tomorrow. Remember that as a husband, wife, children, parents, I know you have very hard times sometimes, very difficult situation, very, very tight situation you are. But mostly what we does, rather than accepting it, we try to look for escape. We dreaming, we thinking one day I'm going to have a life like this, like this, like that. If you don't accept today that whatever come to you or wherever you are, whoever that the people around you, so wherever you escape, you will try it. You can try it. I am telling it by experience, because you listen to me. So I don't want to head massage you. I don't want to tell anything, nice or anything kind of like make you happy, comfortable. No, I'm telling the truth. Why? Because you're going to see it. So whatever difficulty, accept it. Accept it with fully open heart, with the 100% love, with the 100% clarity. Accept it today, whatever you go through. Even you get poison. If somebody give you poison, like the Socrates did, accept it. Mostly we think, oh, why we have to do that? Because we know poison, then you can escape. As you know, there is a very big argument regarding the Buddha's last meal. It was poisoned. Then how the Buddha accept it? Coin like that. People say, oh, he's a Buddha, why he didn't, he should throw it away, or kind of like that. But when you follow the Dharma, it is totally different. So that's why I'm telling. If you look for the development of your life, or the liberation of real liberation of your life, remember, whatever you receive, whoever the people around you, especially as a husband, as a wife, as children, parents, as neighbors, remember, as even citizens sometimes, whatever the situation come to in front of you, if it is come to in front of you, you have to accept it. Don't try to escape from it. Just imagine you become, husband or wife. How many people in this world? Million people, and out of that millions, how you get into this relationship and you married this person? How you came? Do you think it happened by mistake? There is a reason. So then pay off it. So whatever, do your best. Don't hold any little bit half. Do your best as much as you can. It is very difficult, hard, because we have nature. The society, culture, tradition told us, no, don't do that. You have rights. Fight for it. Nothing wrong fighting for rights. But look at the human nature and look at our history. So far, with that all the law or the rights, where are we going? What we want, what we have today. As an entire, this whole world, as one family, this entire human civilizations, we never came to very successful place through this law or through this kind of resistance or through escape from situations. It again and again become powerful deeply. Day by day, what happening? If the law and order, whatever is successful, there are no need any new law. But look at the world. Every day, all over the countries, new constitutions come, new law introduced, and new law and enforcement unit day by day adding new weapons come. New army, they generate different ways. Why? Because we don't understand this. We try to escape. We find a place to escape rather than get into the bottom. So that is conventional life. But when you practice the Dhamma, you take a different path. Remember that. You don't go with others. You become ordinary. You take a different path. That is the trust that you build. So then, whatever situation, so accept it. Whatever the other person asks, give it. Give it. If any person asks, blood, give it. You're done. Anymore, if you give like that way, anymore, it's not going to come back. So you become free. Because if somebody come to very close to you and it start to give a hard time, remember, accept it. Don't resist. Don't dream to escape. Don't even, you look like nice. Remember, intention. We talk about the intention, not just the action. Maybe you blaming inside yourself. Oh, remember, if I have a time one day, I know what to do myself. Oh, thinking like that, you become so nice and hi, how are you, honey? Oh, are you doing good? So like that, you empathize, sympathize other person. But deeply inside you, you are not real. Don't do that. That's a mistake. Be true yourself. Accept it. Do whatever that you have to, whatever the person asks. Done it. Because what you done and finished today, your tomorrow going to be different. But mostly in the samsara, what we does, we always find a way to, go and escape from situations. That is where things keep coming. There is no end. So accept it. And third one, life is unfair. So never ever think it's going to be nice to you. It's going to be fair. Everything going to be okay. And everything will happen in a nice way. Never come to that kind of understanding. Always remember, everything is with the uncertainty happen. That is the very nature. And so you no need to feel sorry. That's because we go with the nature. We are part of the nature. So don't feel sorry, but accept it. And so whatever come to you, why you think it should happen to me like this way? I am practice meditation every day. It should happen to me like this way. It's not going to happen. Even look at the Buddha. What happened to the Buddha? People try to kill him and blame him as a murderer. And people told him he's a kind of like a rapist, and people blame to him kind of like he's, brainwash other people. And look at the Jesus. What happened to the Jesus? People crucify him. And Prophet Muhammad, people gave poison to him. That's how the Prophet Muhammad died. And look at the Socrates, and look at how many good leaders, and they have done a lot to the humanity. But a lot of people killed by somebody, not they didn't have natural death. Especially when you come closer to the truth, it's going to be more unfair. So then always remember, life is unfair. So don't have even idea it should be okay. It's not going to be okay. That is the very true nature. So once you know that, you come to a point, you become like water. You don't have preconditioned mind. You don't have any aversions, in your mind. So then your life become more comfortable within yourself. It's you deeply understand. And other thing is, don't make mountains out of molehill. This means don't make big issues out of little things. When you look back your own life, the whatever the big fights that you have, the big ideas that you carry, struggle that you carry, that everything came out of something very little. Because the nature of the mind is multiplied thoughts. So remember that whatever situations come, don't make it a big scene. Just see how, and according to the life, how small it is. So if you can make a big scene out of it, and you can live with that, you can imagine it, it become kind of like bigger than the universe. But always remember, it's come always from something very little. So when you're able to recognize that, there are a lot of things you can change. That means by understanding, you can go with it. And the fifth one, face your fear, never escape. When you practice meditation, it say sometimes there are moments come, you have the fear inside deeply, and you are afraid to observe yourself, and mostly you try to change the technique, you find something else. But the authentic teachings is always say, no, go with it, you're going to be okay. So like that, whatever the fear you have, don't escape from it, go into it, have an attitude. Whatever the fear that come to you, face for it, you're going to be okay. And always remember, we think when we become a community, when we gather others, the sangha or like that, we strong. But the real strength, remember this very carefully, the real strength come when you become yourself. Find that strength, find that, getting help from others, being with others in a conventional life, sharing things with others is necessary. It is important. You need that. But deeply spiritual life, when you come to the bottom of the life, learn to be alone. It become make you strong. Don't be afraid for anything. Become fearless deeper inside you to be alone. So that way you will see how you are deeper inside life going to become more strong. So through the vipassana practice, you gain this all the five qualities. Remember that you will understand everything is impermanent, nothing lasts forever. And you become a person. So whatever come to you, You accept it. And as a husband, as a wife, as children, parents, so you do it as your responsibility. You accept it and you sacrifice. Why? Because it will pay off your tomorrow. And you don't look for something nice and you understand the very nature of life. Life is unfair. And very little things you recognize as little things, and you're not going to make it bigger. And there is no fear. You become fearless within your own life, and that will make your journey more easy. When yourself become the journey, make it easy, and that is where you bring the comfort to other people also. With that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbaro govinasatu mate bhavattantarayu sukhi digayuko bhava. Ettavatacha ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.